I'm seated on the polished oak floor of my parents' Denver home, Christmas wrapping scattered around me, the synthetic evergreen smell filling the air. My sister Amanda twirls a set of gleaming Mercedes keys between her perfectly manicured fingers, the metal reflecting the tree lights as she spins like she's 18 rather than 31. "This is incredible," she gushes, practically jumping. "My very own Mercedes." Father's face radiates pride. Mother's hands are clasped at her chest like she's watching something sacred. The vehicle waits outside, a shimmering silver monument to favoritism, topped with a massive crimson bow that likely cost more than everything they gave me combined. I'm holding a plastic savings container shaped like a character from a kids' program I aged out of decades ago. The sticker they didn't bother removing says $1.99. "Look inside," Mother prompts, pointing to the rubber plug underneath. My hands feel disconnected as I pull it free. 2 new dollar bills fall out. "It's a foundation for your future savings, dear," Father declares dismissively. "You've always been so sensible about finances, unlike certain people." He gives Amanda a knowing look, and she pretends offense. The pause stretches uncomfortably until Mother breaks it. Amanda requires dependable transportation for her photography business. Creative professionals need to project a specific image. Amanda settles beside me on the sofa, her costly fragrance overwhelming. "No worries, you can ride with me whenever needed." She touches my leg with false kindness. "That old Honda of yours must be falling apart." "The Honda that got me through mountain roads yesterday. The Honda I finished paying for 3 years back. The Honda more dependable than anyone in this room. Can't get air." 33 years of identical moments crystallize with absolute clarity. This isn't unusual. It's the blueprint of my existence. Earlier today, I'd meticulously wrapped their presents. An expensive wallet for Father that consumed 2 weeks' earnings, the gold earrings Mother had coveted in a boutique, the photography equipment Amanda mentioned wanting. All purchased by saving small amounts from every paycheck for months. I'd practiced my news throughout the drive from Denver. Lead structural engineer, the advancement I'd earned through countless extra hours, creating structures that would endure generations. I'd pictured their expressions lighting up, finally seeing me as more than Amanda's dependable older sibling. Perhaps this holiday will be different, I'd told myself at every rest area, every fuel stop, every milestone. My hands shake as I set the container on the table. The plastic sounds hollow against the glass. "Pardon me," I manage, my voice unrecognizable. "Restroom." I move steadily up the known stairs past the photograph wall where Amanda's image fills every frame. The bathroom door shuts softly before I turn the lock. My reflection stares back, eyes dry, expression composed. I flatten my palms on the cold marble, waiting for tears that refuse to appear. The pressure accumulates in my chest instead, like cement solidifying around my lungs. They describe heartbreak as something abstract. It's physical. I feel each chamber squeezing painfully, blood fighting through constricting passages. My chest aches like someone's pressing down on it. This is what dissolution feels like. Not dramatic, just diminishing. The night extends endlessly as I lie awake in my childhood room, listening to Amanda's laughter downstairs as she and my parents discuss her inaugural journey in the new vehicle. At 2:23 a.m., I finally rise. I pack efficiently, taking only essentials: the worn stuffed rabbit my grandmother gave me, the album from university, the small carved box holding my first professional drawing. The costly presents I've given them throughout the years remain untouched. They were never about appreciation anyway. The house stays silent as I carry my luggage downstairs. My house key rests cold in my hand briefly before I place it beside the coffee maker that will activate in 3 hours. They've made their selection. Now I'm making mine. Streetlights become watery halos as I drive empty highways. The dashboard displays 3:54 a.m. Christmas morning. My wipers battle thickening snow while holiday music plays from the radio. I twist the dial until silence fills the car. Have yourself a wonderful little Christmas, I whisper to the vacant seat beside me, my voice cracking. The irony stings. Through Denver's outskirts, my Honda's heating system fights the winter cold. 8 years old with 180,000 miles. This vehicle carried me through university, initial positions, promotions. It never complained about difficult routes or cramped spaces. Unlike the sparkling Mercedes sitting in my parents' driveway with its absurd crimson bow, my car earned its place. Around 6, my phone vibrates in the console. I glance to see Mother's image illuminating the display. Not "Are you okay?" Or "Please return." Just, "Did you remember the utility payment for the lake house before leaving?" The property they purchased for weekend trips that Amanda uses for social media photography. A large truck passes, coating my windshield with slush. For several terrifying seconds, I drive blind until the wipers clear space to see. My hands tremble on the wheel as memories flood faster than wipers can clear them. 6th birthday. Amanda's elaborate celebration with professional decorations, pony rides, a 4-tier princess cake, 40 neighborhood children. My celebration the next year. Supermarket sheet cake, 2 classmates, party supplies from the discount bin. Your sister requires the social engagement, Father explained when I questioned it. You're more self-sufficient. Self-sufficient, their language for "you don't need us." High school graduation. Top of my class. My carefully written speech about determination and aspirations. Empty family seats because Amanda's junior team had an away match. We'll view the recording, Mother promised. The videotape sat unopened on my dresser until I departed for university. Your sister requires the encouragement, Mother said. You always achieve without our help. Without help, their language for "you're alone." University years flash past as highway markers count down distance to the state border. Working 30 hours weekly at campus locations, taking maximum courses to finish early, stretching financial aid and grants while Amanda explored creative inspiration throughout Asia on our parents' money. Your sister needs to discover herself, Father insisted during one rare call. You've always understood exactly who you are. Understood who I am. Their language for "you don't deserve exploration." My phone vibrates again. Father this time. I let it ring until voicemail captures it. Dawn's first hint brightens the eastern sky as tears blur approaching headlights into golden streaks. I pull to the shoulder, hazards flashing, and rest my forehead on the wheel. The patterns crystallize with sudden clarity. Father controlling finances, withholding from me while funding Amanda's every desire. Mother manipulating feelings, making me feel selfish for wanting even fragments of attention. The perfect arrangement. One parent managing financial favoritism, the other maintaining emotional control. My phone rings again. Not family this time. Jessica Martinez, my university roommate turned lifelong friend. Where are you? Her voice, warm and concerned, fills the vehicle through speakers. Somewhere in southern Colorado, I answer. My voice sounds empty, foreign. Driving south. To where? I don't know yet. The line quiets momentarily, then, come to Los Angeles. Stay with me. Family doesn't treat family this way. Jessica knows. She witnessed everything firsthand during university. The packages arriving for me containing practical necessities while Amanda received designer items. The holiday breaks when I remained in dormitories because flights were too expensive. The same years my parents took Amanda to Switzerland and Hawaii. I can't impose. Stop. Jessica's voice becomes firm. You've spent your entire life being the helper. Let someone help you. The words crack something open inside me. Help. Such a simple idea yet foreign to my experience. In my family, help flows one direction. Toward Amanda, toward my parents, never toward me. Okay, I whisper, surprising myself. Text your location hourly. Drive safely. I'm preparing the guest space. Call ends. I merge back onto the highway, wipers clearing fresh snow. For the first time since leaving Denver, my shoulders lower slightly from their defensive position. By 8:15 a.m. I cross the state line. The welcome sign gleams in early sunlight. My phone screen displays 19 missed calls, 41 text messages. With deliberate movements, I disable notifications from Mother, Father, and Amanda. The silence feels weightier than any accusation. My stomach reminds me I haven't eaten since yesterday's dinner. A small roadside restaurant appears ahead, its neon sign a beacon. I pull into the nearly vacant lot. Inside, warmth surrounds me like an embrace, coffee-scented air and the sound of breakfast cooking. An older server with silver-streaked hair approaches with a coffee pot. "Difficult night?" she asks, filling a cup without waiting. Her name tag reads Dorothy. "Difficult life," I mutter, then feel embarrassed by the drama. Dorothy doesn't react. "Sweetheart, I've been serving coffee for 35 years. I recognize heartbreak. Family or relationship?" "Family," I answer. She nods, sliding a menu toward me. "Blood makes you related. Love and respect make you family." Her weathered hand rests briefly on mine. "The special's excellent today. Comes with extra bacon." I order and wrap my hands around the coffee mug. Dorothy's words echo as I watch snowflakes dissolve against the glass. "Blood makes you related. Love and respect make you family." For 33 years, I've been related to the Harrison family. Perhaps it's time to discover what being part of a real family feels like. 3 weeks later, I'm with my friend in Los Angeles. My phone vibrates against the nightstand for the 15th time this morning. Father's number again. I count to 10 before silencing it, adding his call to the growing collection of voicemails I refuse to acknowledge. The first week, their messages held confusion. The second, concern. Now in week 3, they've evolved into something darker. Manipulation wrapped in parental authority. Nina Elizabeth Harrison. Father's latest voicemail thunders through the speaker when I finally check. "If you don't return that vehicle immediately, I'll report it stolen." This childish behavior has continued long enough. Honda. My Honda, the one with my name on the title and 8 years of paid-off documentation. I press the throw pillow against my stomach, swallowing the acid rising in my throat. Mother's message follows. "The physician says my blood pressure is dangerously elevated because of the stress you're causing. Is that what you want? For me to end up hospitalized because you're being selfish?" I delete them both without responding, though my finger hovers over the screen longer than I'd like to admit. My temporary refuge in Jessica's spare bedroom feels both strange and familiar. The walls are painted a soft coral that catches morning light, warming the space in ways my apartment never did. On the dresser, my laptop displays an email I've rewritten 17 times. I click send before I can reconsider. No family connections, no favors requested. Just my work record, my reputation, my value as a structural engineer. 4 hours later, the approval arrives. Just like that, as if I've always been capable of creating my own direction. "You received it." Jessica appears in the doorway, reading my expression. Her dark hair frames a face lined with genuine happiness for me. The concept still feels foreign. Someone celebrating my achievements without making them about themselves. "I begin Thursday," I confirm. Now I just need to find a place. "Already contacted Maria from my reading group." Jessica grins. "She manages apartments downtown. Rent controlled. Safe building. 15-minute walk to your new office." "You didn't have to." "I wanted to," she interrupts, sitting beside me on the bed. "Friends help friends. No strings attached." Novel concept for you, I realize. The words hit their mark. No strings, no obligations, no scorekeeping. The tears I've held back for 3 weeks threaten to break through. I scheduled an appointment for you too, she adds, sliding a business card onto my laptop. The card reads, Dr. Rachel Chen, PhD, Family Systems Therapy. I'm not unstable, I whisper. No, Jessica agrees. But you've been carrying something heavy for a very long time. It might help to set it down somewhere safe. On Thursday afternoon, the therapist's office smells like lavender and aged books. Dr. Chen wears reading glasses on a cord and comfortable shoes that make no sound on the carpet. She doesn't rush to fill silences, just waits while I struggle to form words never spoken aloud. Favoritism, I finally say, the word hanging between us like a newly discovered planet. My entire life. And how did that make you feel? She asks. Like I was worth exactly $2, I answer. Later that week, the apartment Maria shows me is compact, 700 square feet with a kitchenette barely wide enough for appliances. But the windows face west, catching afternoon sunshine that spills across hardwood floors. It's mine by evening. I purchase a futon, a lamp, and a small desk. Nothing more. The emptiness feels intentional rather than impoverished. Space to grow into. Jessica drags me to a community center the following Saturday. Pottery class, she announces. You need something that isn't work or therapy. I protest until my hands sink into cool clay, feeling it yield and resist simultaneously. The instructor, a woman with silver hair and paint-spattered overalls, stands behind me. Don't force it, she murmurs. Listen to what it wants to become. My fingers tremble as they shape something from nothing. By class end, I've created a small, imperfect bowl with uneven edges. It's hideous and beautiful and entirely mine. The first video call comes 5 weeks after Christmas. I answer on the third ring, steeling myself against the familiar surge of guilt their faces trigger. Where have you been? Father demands immediately. His face fills the screen, red with indignation. Your mother has been worried sick. Behind him, Mother dabs at eyes that remain strategically dry. Los Angeles, I answer calmly. I transferred offices. Without discussing it with us first, Mother interjects, pushing into frame. How could you be so inconsiderate? The old pull tugs at my chest. Apologize, placate, make it right. But Dr. Chen's words echo. Your feelings are valid. Their reactions belong to them, not you. I needed space, I say instead. Space from what? Father barks. From family. From responsibility. From growing up. From feeling invisible, I reply, surprised by the steadiness in my voice. From being valued less than Amanda. From trying to earn love that should have been freely given. Mother's tears flow instantly, right on cue. How can you say such hurtful things? We've always loved you both equally. I'm not responsible for your feelings anymore, I tell her. The words feel like stones I've carried in my mouth for years, finally released. I'm responsible for mine. Father slams his palm against the table. This conversation is over until you're ready to apologize. Then I guess we're done talking, I answer and end the call. In days to come, the rumors reach me through professional networking messages and texts from former colleagues. According to family lore, I've had a mental breakdown. I'm living in squalor. I've joined a cult. Amanda's social media shows her looking concerned in tastefully filtered photos captioned with vague references to family heartbreak and praying for those struggling with mental health. My new colleagues know nothing of this narrative. They see only my work, the precision of my calculations, the innovation in my designs. When Amanda shows up unannounced at the office reception 12 days later, Jessica happens to be dropping off lunch. She's in a meeting, Jessica informs her coolly. And she'll remain in meetings indefinitely for uninvited visitors. My therapy group meets Thursday evenings in a community center that smells of coffee and aged books. 9 strangers connected by similar wounds. Family doesn't get a pass just because they're family, says Marcus, a 58-year-old consultant who hasn't spoken to his sister in 15 years. Love without respect isn't love, it's possession. The words settle in my chest like truth. 7 months after Christmas, my apartment has transformed. Pottery lines the windowsills, each piece more refined than the last. A proper bed has replaced the futon. The promotion to senior project manager came with a raise that ended any lingering financial anxiety. On my bookshelf sits the plastic savings container. I've filled it with crisp $2 bills, one for each week of freedom, not as punishment but as reminder. Sometimes the smallest betrayals reveal the largest truths. The first holiday season approaches with both dread and relief. No presents to purchase that won't be appreciated. No performances to maintain. No diminishment to endure. Just me in a space I've created, becoming someone I'm finally learning to value, worth far more than $2. A month later, the cream envelope sits on my kitchen counter like a landmine. For days it's been there untouched. Cousin Rebecca's wedding invitation. My name in flowing calligraphy. Nina Harrison. No +1. Just me, expected to return to the fold unaccompanied. What are you thinking? Dr. Chen asks, her office chair creaking as she leans forward. I trace the edge of the armrest, counting the brass tacks one by one. I'm going. Her eyebrows rise slightly. That's a change from last week. On my terms, I add quickly. I've reserved a room at the Marriott 3 blocks from the venue. Father called twice, insisting I stay at their rental property with everyone. And what did you say? Nothing. I smile, remembering the satisfaction of letting his voicemail fill with increasingly desperate messages. The boundary is the message. 8 months of therapy has taught me the vocabulary of self-protection. 8 months after Christmas drove away. 8 months of rebuilding myself, one therapy session, one pottery class, one peaceful evening at a time. During the session my phone buzzes. Amanda, the 4th text today. Can't wait to see you next weekend. We need sister time before the wedding chaos. I slide the phone back into my purse without responding. Dr. Chin notices. Your sister again. Suddenly we're best friends. I laugh, but it comes out hollow. She never texted this much when we lived in the same city. What do you think she wants? A ride from the airport. Money. The old Nina who carried her emotional baggage along with her actual luggage. I run my fingers across the fabric swatch on my lap. Deep navy silk for the dress I've commissioned. 3 fittings to ensure it hangs perfectly from my shoulders. Schemes my curves without apology. The color of power, not reconciliation. They've enlisted intermediaries, I tell Dr. Chen. Uncle Robert called last night about how families need to stick together. Aunt Susan emailed about forgiveness being divine. Even Rebecca's partner sent a message. They're coordinating. And how does that make you feel? Before therapy I would have said fine, always fine. Instead I trace the physical truth of my emotions. The tightness in my throat, the cold sweat along my hairline, the slight tremor in my fingers. Terrified, I admit, but also ready. Later that evening, I spread the seating chart Rebecca accidentally included in a group email across my kitchen table. There I am, placed between my parents, directly across from Amanda. The family tableau restored. I reach for my phone. Rebecca, it's Nina. I have a small request about the seating arrangements. Friday arrives with Los Angeles fog that burns away as my plane takes off. The clouds part somewhere over Arizona, revealing the landscape of my childhood. My heartbeat quickens as we begin descent into Denver. The rehearsal dinner location glows golden against the twilight sky. I stand on the sidewalk, touching the smooth stone pendant Jessica gave me before I left. Strength isn't about not feeling fear, she'd said. It's about feeling it and walking forward anyway. I straighten my shoulders and pull open the heavy wooden door. Conversations halt mid-sentence. Heads turn. My mother's hand flies to her throat. My father's drink pauses halfway to his lips. Changed. The Nina who fled at Christmas was a shadow. This woman in tailored black pants, emerald silk blouse, and heels that announce each step with authority is solid, present. The diamond studs in my ears catch the light as I scan the room, nodding acknowledgments without rushing toward anyone. Amanda approaches first, arms outstretched, but something is different. The designer watch is gone. The highlights in her hair have grown out. Her smile seems strained rather than entitled. "You look amazing," she says, embracing me briefly. "Thank you." I step back, maintaining the space between us. "How's the Mercedes treating you?" Her eyes dart away. "I, had to trade it in. Got a Toyota. More practical, you know." Beyond her shoulder, I spot my parents huddled with Aunt Carol. Mother dabs at her eyes with a cocktail napkin. Father's shoulders slump forward in a posture I've never seen before. Cousin Sophie appears at my elbow, vodka tonic in hand. "God, am I glad you're here," she whispers. "You wouldn't believe the drama since Christmas. Your parents are selling the house." She leans closer. "Medical bills, they say, but everyone knows they've been floating Amanda for years." Reality finally caught up. Before I can respond, a server circulates with champagne. I take a glass, watching the bubbles rise and burst against the surface. Just like the family stories. What rises eventually pops. Uncle Daniel approaches, clasping my free hand. "You're looking well, Nina. That position in Los Angeles must agree with you." "Senior project manager now," I say, the words still tasting new on my tongue. His eyes widen. "No kidding. That's wonderful." More relatives orbit toward me throughout the evening. Cousin Brian confesses he always noticed how differently I was treated. Aunt Carol hugs me too tightly, whispering, "Your father lost his position 4 months ago. Your mother's on medication for anxiety." I absorb each revelation with a strange detachment of someone watching waves break against a shore from which they've retreated to higher ground. My father corners me during cocktail hour, bourbon heavy on his breath. "Family sticks together, Nina." His voice carries the familiar weight of authority, but something essential has crumbled beneath it. "No matter what." "Does it, father?" I meet his gaze without flinching. "Or do some family members stick together while others get pushed aside?" His face reddens. "We've always supported you." $2 in a savings container. The words come out softer than I expected, but they land with precision. "That was your definition of support." He opens his mouth, closes it, then walks away. In the restroom, my mother appears beside me at the sink, eyes swimming with tears. "We miss you so much," she says, reaching for my hand. I continue washing my hands, the soap slippery between my fingers. "I miss who I thought you were too." Back in the main room, Amanda pulls me onto the terrace. The evening air carries the scent of roses from the garden below. "The Mercedes got repossessed," she blurts out. "I'm drowning in debt. Photography clients dried up. Father can't help anymore." Her voice cracks. "I don't know how to do this, Nina. I never learned how to stand on my own." The confession hangs between us. 8 months ago, I would have immediately offered solutions, money, a place to stay. The old Nina would have added this burden to her collection. Instead, I place my hand gently on her arm. "That sounds really hard, Amanda." I feel compassion without responsibility, a distinction that took months of therapy to learn. "I'm sorry you're going through that." Her eyes widen slightly at my response. Compassion without rescue. "I can help you make a budget," I offer. "But I can't fix this for you." Over her shoulder, I see Rebecca in her pre-wedding glow, surrounded by bridesmaids. Tomorrow will bring its own challenges. But tonight, standing on this terrace with the weight of family expectations sliding off my shoulders like water, I realize I'm no longer afraid. I am the woman who walked away from a lifetime of diminishment, who built a life from the foundation up. Whatever comes next, I'll face it standing firmly on ground of my own making. The next day, I stand in the bridal suite watching as my cousin Rebecca transforms from nervous bride to radiant woman. Morning sun pours through tall windows, casting everything in gentle golden light that feels at odds with the storm brewing in my chest. "Nina, your parents are looking for you," Aunt Carol whispers, her fingers gentle on my forearm. "They're in the study. Said it's important." I knew this moment was coming. 8 months since I walked out of their Denver home, leaving nothing but a note and a lifetime of resentment behind. "Thanks, Carol." My voice sounds calmer than I feel. "I'll find them after I help Rebecca with her veil." Carol's eyes soften. "They mentioned something about a family emergency before the ceremony." Course they did. The study door feels heavier than physics should allow as I push it open 40 minutes later. Mother sits ramrod straight in a high-backed chair, tissues already clutched in her hand. Father paces by the window, his movements sharp and contained. Amanda stands near the bookshelf wearing a dress that costs more than my first month's rent in Los Angeles, though the repossessed Mercedes is nowhere to be seen. "Nina, thank God." Mother rises, arms outstretched. "We need to talk as a family." I remain in the doorway. The ceremony starts in 45 minutes. "Sit down, Nina." Father gestures to the empty chair positioned to face all three of them, a staged intervention. This can't wait any longer. I close the door behind me but don't move toward the chair. "I'm listening." Amanda steps forward. "Nina, this has gone far enough. Father lost his position 4 months ago. The company downsized." Father interjects quickly. "Budget cuts. Mother's been seeing a therapist for depression," Amanda continues. "This all started when you left at Christmas." Mother dabs at dry eyes. "We're selling the house." The perfect trifecta. Financial crisis, health concerns, and guilt wrapped in one neat package. 8 months ago, I would have crumpled under the weight of their expectations, apologized for something that wasn't my fault, and offered to help. Today, I walk to the indicated chair, set my purse beside it, and sit with my spine straight. "I'm sorry to hear about your position, Father. And Mother, I'm glad you're getting help." Their faces register confusion at my calm response. "Didn't you hear what we said?" Amanda's voice rises. "They're selling the house because of you." "No, they're selling the house because of choices they made long before I left." I remove a leather-bound photo album from my purse. "I brought something to show you." Mother frowns. "We don't have time for." "You called this meeting," I interrupt. "We have time." I open the album across my lap. The first page shows 2 birthday parties side by side. Amanda's elaborate princess theme with hired entertainers, and my party the same year with a supermarket cake at the kitchen table. Remember these. I flip through pages of Christmas mornings, graduations, family vacations where the pattern of favoritism is unmistakable. I spent months compiling evidence of what I always felt but couldn't prove. Father's face flushes. "This is ridiculous. We always treated you girls equally." I pull out a folder of bank statements. My student loans. $73,000 that I'm still paying. Amanda's education. Fully funded, including her year in Asia for artistic inspiration. Amanda shifts uncomfortably. "That's not fair. You chose engineering. That was your decision." "It was my passion," I correct her. "Just like photography was yours. The difference is my passion wasn't considered worth investing in." Mother rises, hands trembling. "We didn't have the money when you went to university. Things were different by the time, Amanda. I learned everything about your financial records years ago, Mother." I cut her off. Father's promotion came when I was 17. The inheritance from grandmother arrived before my freshman year. You had the money. You chose not to spend it on me. The room grows uncomfortably quiet as I lay out birthday cards spanning 3 decades. The messages to Amanda overflow with effusive love. Mine contain practical advice and reminders to work hard. We always knew you'd be fine, Father finally says, his defensiveness cracking. You were always so capable. There it is. The truth behind decades of disparity. Being capable doesn't mean I deserved less love. My voice remains steady even as heat builds behind my eyes. Being responsible didn't mean I should carry everyone else's burdens. Mother collapses into genuine tears. Not manipulative ones. We never meant to hurt you. Intent doesn't erase impact. I reach into my purse one final time. The plastic savings container makes a hollow sound as I place it on the coffee table between us. Father stares at it. What is this nonsense? I remove the rubber stopper. Dozens of crisp $2 bills spill out. Unusual currency that catches the eye. I've saved a $2 bill for every week since Christmas, I explain. This isn't about money. It's about what you thought I was worth. Amanda picks up one of the bills, turning it over in her manicured fingers. I never realized how it looked from your side. Her voice lacks its usual defensive edge. They never taught me to stand on my own. Outside the study, relatives pass by, their voices floating through the heavy door. In minutes, they'll gather to celebrate love and commitment while our family confronts decades of its absence. I don't want apologies, I say, standing. I want change. I'll consider reconciliation under 2 conditions. Family therapy and respect for my boundaries. Father opens his mouth to argue, but Mother places her hand on his arm. We'll do it, she says, surprising us all. Whatever it takes. I gather my evidence and the savings container but leave its contents on the table. That's yours to keep. A reminder of what happens when you value one child over another. Walking toward the door, I pause with my hand on the knob. I need to take my seat for the ceremony. My friend Jessica is saving me a place. As I step into the hallway, my back straight and heart lighter than it's been in months, I hear Amanda whisper to our parents. She's different now. She's right. The woman who left that Christmas morning carrying nothing but grief and resolution is gone. In her place stands someone who finally understands her own worth isn't measured by what others think she deserves, but by what she refuses to accept. On Christmas, sunshine spills across the hardwood floors of my Los Angeles apartment as friends gather around a table that actually belongs to me. The scent of rosemary and thyme from the roasting turkey mingles with laughter. Real laughter, not the strained kind that used to echo through my parents' house. To Nina. Jessica raises her glass, her dark curls catching the light from the window. Who builds bridges better than anyone I know, both at work and in life? My cheeks warm at the toast. 1 year ago today, I placed a house key on a counter and drove away from everything familiar. Now I stand in an apartment filled with people who choose to be here, surrounded by pottery pieces I created with my own hands. And to Senior Project Manager Harrison, adds Marcus, his fingers brushing mine under the table. His touch still sends electricity through me, not the lightning strike of infatuation, but the steady current of something building toward permanence. Marcus understands deadlines and structural integrity, a civil engineer who values sustainability in buildings and relationships alike. When he first asked me to coffee 7 months ago, I almost declined. Old habits of self-sacrifice die hard. My therapist called it progress when I said yes. The kitchen timer chimes, saving me from having to acknowledge their praise. Some changes take longer than others. Need help? Asks Marcus, following me into the kitchen. I've got it. The words slip out automatically. Then I catch myself, remembering Dr. Chen's gentle challenge. Accepting help doesn't diminish your strength. Actually, could you carve the turkey? I never learned how. My phone vibrates with a video call from Amanda. Monthly calls. A boundary we established after the wedding confrontation. I answer while Marcus handles the carving. Happy holidays, Amanda says, her face filling the screen. Her apartment visible behind her looks smaller than mine. No designer furniture, no luxury vehicle parked outside. Working two positions has given her a new perspective on money, along with the shadows under her eyes. You look happy, she says, voice softer than it used to be. Your place looks beautiful. It feels like home, I reply. I angle the camera to show my pottery studio in the spare bedroom, once formless clay now shaped into bowls and vases that line the shelves. How are mother and father? Father's 90 days sober today. He wanted me to tell you. She adjusts the camera to reveal our father sitting in a modest apartment living room, looking smaller somehow. The support meetings are helping. He's different when he's not drinking. I nod, not ready to fully process that revelation. And mother? Still volunteering at the food bank. She wanted to join the call but had an emergency delivery. Amanda pauses. They ask about you. Not in the old way, though. We talk for a few more minutes before saying goodbye. The wall clock shows it's time for dinner. Around my table, conversation flows between Jessica, Marcus, and friends from my engineering firm and pottery class. No one mentions the savings container displayed on my mantel, now filled with dollar bills representing lessons rather than resentment. After dessert, Amanda texts a photo of a handmade clay ornament, clearly her first attempt at pottery. Not pretty but made with love. Mailing it tomorrow. Then another message arrives from my mother. Found this in storage while downsizing. It always belonged to you. The attachment shows my childhood dollhouse, the one thing I truly loved growing up. The ownership paperwork sits below it, officially making it mine. Later, when everyone has gone and Marcus helps with the last dishes, I step onto my balcony. The city stretches before me, lights from downtown reflecting on dark water. Buildings I helped design stand in silhouette against the night sky. Worth isn't something you earn through usefulness, I whisper to the city lights. It's something you claim by knowing what you will and won't accept. Marcus joins me, wrapping a blanket around my shoulders against the winter chill. Deep thoughts. Just grateful, I answer, leaning into his warmth. Sometimes the greatest gift is realizing what you won't accept anymore. The savings container sits visible through the window, no longer a symbol of what I lacked, but what I found, the courage to value myself.